Sorry to interrupt, Rosetta. What were they thinking? Did they think Nigeria was going to kidnap Meghan Markle and give her genital mutilation or what? Were they going to kidnap Harry and then circumcise him?
I don't know.
What were they thinking?
It's now just the light bulb moment just came on that it looked like like you said, maybe the king, his concern was security.
Because as a country in Nigeria, don't we know what our problems are? Why do we need Harry and Meghan to come and tell us we have to do A, B, C?
I like that.
What is that? That's true. Enlightenment is good. So for me,
we've done a good job by giving them that hospitality, open arms and welcoming and all whatnot. That's what I would say.
You think we've shown Nigerian hospitality at its finest?
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
I think that trip to Nigeria was positive. The reason is because based on all the backlash from Nigeria, people talking about Nigeria not safe, Nigeria not this, Nigeria was going to do this, they came back successfully.
That's right.
And they came back safe.
Safe.
Nothing was done. So in that way, a lot of people will know that Nigeria is not as bad as they think.
Thank you very much. And another week, we're here to talk about what's trending. We're going to talk about Harry and Meghan because they went to Nigeria. Let us be clear. Because they had a trip, and we're going to talk about it in three segments. First, there were elements of the British press that really trashed Nigeria, as a country for receiving Harry and Meghan. I didn't think Nigeria warranted any of that, but then again, I was thinking, how would they have known? Was there anybody was unsuspecting that a trip of Harry and Meghan to Nigeria would cause this sort of backlash?
Interest,
So I come here today first to ask you ladies, you've heard that video. We're going to put sound bites when I do this show. What did you think about that trashing of Nigeria? They said Nigeria was unsafe, female rights are not where they should be, mutilation, kidnapping, armed robbery, and that the British royals are not supposed to endorse such a country. King Charles was in Nigeria 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
Not so long. The Queen was there. It was in Edo State in the 1960s. A lot of royals have been to Nigeria. It's not good to. This is a very biased bashing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to go from you. If you feel there's anything, because I've read the comments and some people have said, what did they lie about? I think it's biased. I want to know what you think. Rosetta, let's start from you. Did you think we deserve it, like some of the comments say?
no, we do not deserve it. We know who we are, actually. And yes, those things they actually said are things that are happening in Nigeria, but please don't just put us in one box. Yes, we know the Chibok girls were kidnapped. Yes, we know there's criminality, yes, we know there's female genital mutilation. It's not new. We actually know, but also there is positives to us in terms of if you look at how much Nigerians actually contribute to this country, mainly workers at NHS. You understand?
Thank you.
Teachers, doctors, you name it. So, if you even want to say something on one, get a balance. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying my country is perfect. My country, Nigeria. Yeah. If you look at other African countries, they're kind of similar as well.
Yes.
So no, I don't actually. I think it was kind of
unfair.
not handled properly.
Yes.
It was unfair, and I was
And
expecting.
mishandled,
And I was expecting the federal government to actually defend my country or say something, put something out there.
And you're totally right. Totally, they haven't done anything. Esosa, the other man said romance, scam, said a lot of things. My issue with this is I'm not sure any of us, any Nigerian, thought about this before Harry and Meghan went on this trip. But if they know that Nigeria's had female
mutilation
problems, female rights problems, why have they chosen the time of Harry and Meghan to highlight it?
That was exactly my point, is that Harry and Meghan, they know what they are doing. They chose to go to Nigeria. They know Nigeria is not safe. They know all of these things about Nigeria. Yet they chose to go there. So who is anybody else to come and highlight all of these to them and tell them that, oh, that Nigeria is not safe? They went there safely and they came back safely. So what difference did it make now? Because Harry and Meghan made that decision to go there, knowing quite well what Nigeria was like. They knew, they made the arrangement. Nigeria authority made the arrangement for them to be secure, and they were securely
That's
looked
that.
after in Nigeria.
Yes.
So whether there was 419, whatever, genital mutilation, all of these things they talked about, Nigeria proved them wrong.
Yes. In that regard, I think you're totally right.
Nigeria proved them wrong. Can we guarantee the same if you bring a 12-year-old child to Britain and in 10 years that 12-year-old might not be gunshot in the street? Can we guarantee that in Britain?
No, at the current rate,
No.
you understand.
Do
Nobody
Nigeria
is saying-
government go about talking about how many Nigerian children have been killed in the streets of London or the street of England
Good,
or the street
good.
of United Kingdom?
Yes. Okay. Now, I find that it touched me when I saw. I was very hurt. I was more hurt than a normal English person. When I saw the video, I took it to some of my English friends to say, "Look at this," and they looked at the channel and they said, "It's not BBC. It's GB News. They're a bit like this. Josephine, how did you feel when you saw that video? Like, I was very angry. Did you feel ashamed? Somebody just pointing these things out about your country?
I mean, no, I wasn't. I was not ashamed. I'm proud of my country, my homeland. What it was I was a little bit, well, not a little bit. I was disappointed with him, outlining all sorts, because here in London is the same thing. There's crime
Absolutely.
everywhere. There's nowhere that is safe in the world. Do you understand? There's crime everywhere. Like Mr. Sosa rightfully said just now, how are we guaranteed that if a 12-year-old comes to live in London, he's not going to be gunned down, he's not going to be knifed? The knife crime is getting higher, the gun crime is getting higher. People are being missing without a trace. You never find anyone alive. You find them, the body. How many? I can go on and on and on. So he shouldn't come out to bash us like that. That is very, very disappointing. And I'm really, really, I was so upset when I heard it. Honestly.
Now, before I leave the backlash, I want to ask again, if you were a smaller country, because we've heard that Harry and Meghan might be going to Ghana next, would you be worried? Would you have any advice for the smaller country? Is this backlash going to be consistent with Commonwealth countries, with smaller countries in Africa, if Harry decides to take his Invictus game there? Esosa, go for it.
I think so. Every country Harry goes to, whether big or little, that country will go a backlash. It's not because they hate the country. I think it's an a transgression of anger that they have towards Harry. That because Harry is not doing something in the Commonwealth, that is why the country will be criticized for whatever reason they have against the country. As far as Harry is concerned, if Harry decides to say, I'm going to go to this country, they will find one way or the other to talk about that country because Harry said he's going there. It will, not less, Harry is going on the capacity as a royalty. If Harry is going on his own as a private citizen and going there, they will criticize. They will say he's putting himself in danger. They will say all sorts of things. And I think that's what this
That's
is all
what's
about.
going to happen now.
Yeah.
Joe, I want to ask you before I come to Rosetta. Would it be what has happened in Nigeria that would set the precedent, so there would not be a fair, the people if Harry and Meghan are going to Ghana now, the people in Ghana would not be able to make up their mind, having seen what has happened in Nigeria, that there is a trend here. They can't like Harry and Meghan the way probably they would have wanted to if they didn't see what happened in Nigeria. Do you think this has set a precedent?
Well, a little bit. I mean, with Ghana, I'm sure they are they are sensible enough not to actually think of, oh, look at what happened to them, so we have to be very careful and all of that. I'm sure they will do whatever they want to do with Meghan and Harry, because as for me, we didn't do anything. We were only hospitable. We were
Yeah.
welcoming, and we were very receptive, and we were hospitable. So that is the crime that we have committed, that we're being bashed on.
Yeah. Ro, seeing what happened if it's on Prince Harry's itinerary to take the Invictus Games to Ghana, seeing what happened in Nigeria, do you think he might leave Meghan and just carry on with the games to bring less of a spotlight to what he's doing?
I don't know. I don't see it as a problem taking his wife with him. No. Megan, some people might see her as a distraction. I don't know. I think they're okay as a couple. I don't have anything against them.
Yeah.
If you want to take your wife with you, take your wife with you, but make sure that what you're going for,
Focus is
you
on
know,
that.
the focus is actually on that because Megan was there, but you could see her, you know, her presence is kind of distracting in a way, you know. But having said that, Harry did manage to do what he went, you know. I mean, he talked about the Invictus game and,
Play
you
polo
know,
and play
yes,
some games.
yes, and mental health with the children, you know, and told, yes. So he covered a few things. Take your wife with you, but if you're actually going for an assignment like that, because it was the defense minister that actually
Invited.
Invited
invited
them,
them
yeah,
over,
yeah.
you know, so it's not a royal trip per se.
So you think
It's the defense minister that actually invited them over and they went. And I hear Prince Charles wasn't happy about it. A lot of people weren't happy because of the security issue. And I think yes, you do have a right to
be concerned, yeah.
concerned.
Yeah.
I will be concerned. But you know what? Nigeria made sure they were secure
And they proved them wrong.
and
That's
proved
right.
them wrong.
That's
Did
right.
they
Absolutely.
think because Nigeria has all these things with genital
Yes.
mutilation and whatever
whatever,
they
yeah.
said that we're just gonna leave Harry and Meghan to the wolves?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
Rosetta. What were they thinking? Did they think Nigeria was going to kidnap Meghan Markle and give her genital mutilation or what?
I don't
Were they
know.
going to kidnap Harry
Exactly.
and then circumcising?
I don't know.
What were they
Yeah.
thinking?
that's now it's now just the light bulb moment just came on that it looked like like you said maybe the king his concern was security. You know that as a royal they have a detailed envoy when one of them is leaving the
Yes.
shore, and if Harry is going to
But can I just say something? Even though I hear Prince Charles wasn't happy that Meghan and Harry were
King-
going,
King
Charles, I beg your pardon. Yes, when they left the UK, yeah, they withdrew security. Yeah. Is he what? Not
Thank
Tyler
you.
Perry that
Thank
actually
you.
gave them his private
I was
jets for
about to
that.
say that
You
too.
know?
And let me also
Yeah,
comment.
let them not start me off because you're talking
True.
about security.
True.
You left your son and the
I
wife
don't
in the
think.
UK.
Can I say something?
Okay,
please?
hold on.
I don't
Stranded.
think the king was actually concerned about Nigeria security. The king was not concerned about that. The king was concerned that they are going to Nigeria, which is a Commonwealth country, as a quasi royal. That's what the king was
as a
concerned about.
parallel
As a parallel that-
royal.
Yes, like Rosetta rightly said, they were invited as a private
Yes.
citizen for the Invictus game. However, Harry didn't go with the Invictus team. He went with his wife, which makes it look like a royal.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
And the wife becomes a distraction,
Distraction.
like Rosetta rightly said. Because if Harry had went with some of the executives of the Invictus game, and they were all the Invictus, I don't think it would have created more interest as it did.
Less
It would have been
settlers.
less.
Yes.
Yes.
True.
Yes. I
As
can
it
see.
did now. And the reason our video became a huge trend was the reason, because Meghan went with Harry.
Harry, yes.
And we didn't know Meghan was going to Nigeria when we did that video.
Not at all.
The video was only concerned, we actually did that video when Meghan mentioned that she was 43%
That's right.
Nigerian from her DNA test. That was when we did this video. And in the video, we did not say we hated Meghan.
Oh no, not at
There
all.
was no reason for anyone to misinterpret what we said,
That's
that
right.
we hated Meghan,
No.
we are against her. We were just,
That we don't like her.
we don't like her. We do like her. I don't
Yeah.
like her. I don't know her personally. Why would I hate anybody that I don't know personally? However, we were more like, okay, if she's a mixed race, she's half African American and half Caucasian. How come 43% of her DNA is Nigerian? That is what my question was. And besides, in all the countries that she could have chosen to be from, she chose Nigeria. Why? And I feel also, my question was also, why 10, 15 years ago, why was this not mentioned? Why now? Do you see what I mean? It's not because we hate her. It's not because we don't like her. Now that she's been to Nigeria, that video has been taken out of context and it's been blown into proportion. Everybody has now said, the people are even thinking that we actually live in Nigeria. We live here in
No,
London.
no.
Yes.
I have to say, because of the interest in the video, I went back to watch it and I analyzed it myself. It's not a lot of things you've said is very true. Very from a Nigerian perspective. Without thinking that the video is going to blow, or go out like that, but selling the culture of Nigerians it was very interesting to many people. That it gives them insight into why Nigerians are the way
Yes.
why the way they are. So I that's why I'm congratulating you. But I want to move so you don't steal this thunder. I've got this thing written
Oh.
because I want to see how you can. We want to talk about the trip itself
Okay.
because you started talking about the trip to say I saw. Let's look at the trip. It was very successful. You said it. They were well received. Very well received. They had the awareness of mental health. I saw Meghan speaking. She made reference to this 43% a lot. Harry played basketball with kids. He played sit down volleyball with some army veterans. They went to school. They did loads of speeches. Meghan talked. Talked in more than one occasion. She spoke to Nigerian women, tried to explain her 43% the connection. So all in all, I think Harry and Meghan, as, since they became a royal couple, this would rank amongst, I think, one of their best successful trips personally. Outside these shores, I know he's been to South Africa.
And it's been to Botswana.
Botswana,
Yes.
yeah. It never gathered this sort of attention. Maybe just because of the moment. Maybe then it
They
was,
didn't. Then, when they went to Botswana, they were dating.
Yeah, they went a
They,
couple.
they weren't. They were no. They weren't. They were dating, and it was okay. It was very low key. They knew Harry was there with his girlfriend or to be wife. So that was fine. But this time around, it's a big one. They were invited over to Nigeria, and he took his wife with him, and it's everything. It's about Meghan, and of course, I don't. For people, actually, we have difference in opinion, isn't it?
Of course,
and
of
it's
course.
okay for people to air their opinion.
Yes.
Like I said, I actually like them as a couple. But I said what I said because it needed to be said.
be
To be
said.
said, of course.
Yes,
That's
and we
right.
don't mean any harm.
Not at all.
It is the content. That lady who was promoting her own content just took a clip
of her
of
picture.
what we said.
What we
and she
said,
was
and
kind
it
of saying, like,
slotted.
these Nigerian
Yes.
women don't want Meghan.
Exactly.
Don't like her.
That's
That kind
not.
of thing. That was the
No.
message she was
Projecting.
She was, yes,
Yeah,
and
that-
we
and
don't
that was
want
it.
that. No, we're not horrible people. We don't hate Meghan.
No.
We don't want people to get it out
Out,
there.
yeah,
that
out there
we're-
that
we
we are.
hate her,
No,
that
we
we
don't.
hate.
No,
We
we
don't.
don't.
okay. So for you, you're quite happy that this is a very successful trip.
was a very
for the
successful.
Sussexes and also
For
for
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
And for
Let's look at the success for Nigeria. Tony said this morning. He said it makes Nigeria look like a developing. We're joining the world. It brings more spotlight to Nigeria because I thought about it for a second. I said if you look at the way they grade developing nations, India, they land a spacecraft, they land a space, they land their own craft in space. We're not there. There's so many things we're missing out of. For Harry and Meghan to come to Nigeria, according to Tony, who lives in Nigeria today, he said this has to be positive, whether negative or this has to be looked at as a positive for
positive.
Nigeria,
Yeah.
whether it's positive progression or negative progression.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, Rosette? You think it's worked for Nigeria too?
Yes, I mean, this is I don't even know what to say now because it is positive. Whether they went there
Yes.
or not, we are still who we are.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's
Yes.
what I'm trying to bring out.
Yes.
So we are still who we are, whether they went there or not. However, them coming because they were invited. So them coming to Nigeria, I think we've done a good job by giving them that hospitality, open arms, and welcoming and all whatnot. That's what I would say.
You think we've shown Nigerian hospitality at its finest?
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
We've always
We did.
been
We-
hospitable.
We've always been
Anyway,
hospitable. That's
there's
who we
no
are.
question about it.
Just to add to what Josephine just said, I would think it's positive. I think that trip to Nigeria was positive. The reason is because based on all the backlash from Nigeria, people talking about Nigeria not safe, Nigeria not this, Nigeria was gonna do this, they came back successfully and they came back safe.
Safe.
Nothing was done. So in that way, a lot of people will know that Nigeria is not as bad as they think. In that way, that's positive
Yeah.
on this on Nigeria side.
Thank you. Before I go to the next part, Musa said this morning that for him, this was just a photo op, opportunity for both Harry and Meghan, that they have no business going to Nigeria, whether to help Nigeria or not, that they have more important business trying to reconcile their family.
Yes, I actually agree with that. I think Harry and well, I don't know because you see they're out of the UK now, but I would like to see Harry make up with his father
That's right.
and
That's what
his
everybody
brother.
wants.
I would very much like that to happen. But I don't think we need somebody as a country to come and tell us what we need to do. Because as a country in Nigeria, don't we know what our problems are?
Thank you.
Why do we need Harry and Meghan to come and tell us we have to do A, B, C?
I like that.
What is that?
That's true.
Enlightenment is good. So for me, Rosetta sitting here, yes, whatever they have actually said is not new. I want my people on ground now to tell me what they have learned
From
what
Harry
they're
and
going to be
Meghan.
doing different from
Yeah.
what they heard
That's
from
true.
Harry. Okay, so they talked about mental health.
Yes.
Have
I
they
want to
not heard
know.
about that
I
before?
want to know what the mental health practitioners
Yes,
in Nigeria
yes,
will
yes,
be doing
yes.
to speak to people who have mental health
That's
issues,
right.
the young ones who have suicidal attempts and
That's
ideations
right.
and
Yes,
things
yes,
like that.
yes.
I want to know what they're going to do,
do about it.
disabled people.
Yes.
For disabled people, have actually, I have a very soft spot. That's something I would
Same.
actually want to
Same.
do
Yes.
if I had the opportunity.
Same.
Because there are a lot of disabled people who cannot use their
I
legs,
know.
but
I know.
they have the brain.
That's right.
You see them
Absolutely.
Do
begging on the
something.
road
Yep,
for
yep,
money.
yep,
Yes,
yep.
small business.
I know.
Give them money. They can do things.
They can do
Yes.
things.
Yeah,
Very true.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I want to
absolutely.
now.
Very valid
The
point.
last part I want to go into here is the complaints that I have watched, because now we agree that it was a successful trip. Even Nigeria benefited. Harry and Meghan worked out both ways. Now let's go through the complaints. Watched, read, and seen. First, this one stands out to me. They said Meghan went to Nigeria and, like the royals, a sense of fashion. A sense of fashion was very poor. She wore a braless, open back top, and also they said what the royals do normally, because of so much spotlight on them, they can wear a local designer and give that person the opportunity to go worldwide because the costume is so nice and people would. And she missed this totally. Earlier on in the day, I was speaking to Rosetta on the radio. We also do a radio show with these three ladies as well. And you mentioned she didn't say anything about the Chibok girls, which was a phenomenon that even Michelle Obama and everybody, if
Was
you were not
involved in.
interested in
Yeah,
Nigeria,
yeah.
you would have spoken about that.
And for her as a feminist,
Let me let you first of all speak about the fashion sense. Do you agree that uh, I would phrase this correctly? Do you agree she should have done enough to see the opportunities that her presence in Nigeria could present to the local Nigerians on the international stage? To say, where can I help? Is it the clothes I wear? Is it
Yes, she could have. It could be about women and empowerment. She could have chosen a topic. Yeah, it could be fashion. I don't know. It could be widowed women. What can we do for them so that they can work and self-support, and things like that. Yeah, but most important, the Chibok girls is something worried
That was
me
very
from
big.
day one
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
And it was big around the world. So I would have really loved to see Meghan actually talk about the Chibok girls, but obviously that wasn't something that.
yeah.
But I think if they actually sat down and did their work before they came
Before
over,
they came,
and they
yes.
actually rubbed minds with people, certain people would have told them, you know what, this is what we are really struggling with.
what think is that she did not. She, as far as I'm concerned, for what I saw, She did not show interest in Nigerian culture at all. If you go to a country, for example, you go to Italy, you learn to eat Italian food because you want to show you are interested in their culture.
Yes.
That's what the royals do here. Like I said this morning, royals are probably trained by professional, by psychologists, people who understand human communication. And for her, somebody who studied international relationship, she should know that that personal touch is very, very important when you are developing relationship with people. She went to Nigeria. She all brought her Californian style,
So,
and she didn't seem interested in Nigerian style. I didn't see her eat any Nigerian food, like eating jollof rice or
Pounded
bolo,
yam.
pounded yam, and all those kind of things. Sometimes when you see the royals visit India, you see them they eating Indian food. They dress in Indian
True.
attire, and they dress when they went to the Caribbean the other day. They dressed up in a Caribbean attire. They were dancing Caribbean dance. I saw her dancing with the children there, but I didn't see anything that make me think that she was actually interested. All the what she was interested in were more of the good qualities in Nigeria, resilient, this that.
yeah,
What about the Chibok girl? What about people dying in the slum
exactly.
in the southern part of Nigeria, in the south Nigeria? What about children sleeping in the slum in Lagos Beach and all those areas? Why did you not say
Visit
that
there.
I am
Yeah.
here? Let me go to that school where the Chibok girl were kidnapped. Let me go and see that. This is not because this is the reason I came, just because I happen to be here.
Yes.
Maybe that touch will be there. Oh,
Yes.
show me your traditional food.
That's
Show me
right.
your traditional outfit. What do you wear? Do you wear ashoke? Do you wear this? Do you wear that? Or show me things. All I saw was in the videos in the whatever I saw on the media.
The complaints.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was all about. She went to a school in Nigeria with her back or show. You're telling those children this is how to behave. You see, this is where I come in because me as a parent, as a therapist, and as a parent, and I talk to parents a lot of times, and I talk to children, and when parents say that, oh, one thing I don't do, I'm very objective in the way I view things. I don't say things just because someone is pink, green, yellow, or white. You could be black or you could be my sister. We're born by the same parents. And if your behavior is not acceptable, I will say it, regardless who you are. So what I do not like, I don't have anything against Meghan, is everybody just think they want to support Meghan just because she's black. And everybody jump on it and say whatever Meghan does is perfect because she's black. I don't do that. You could be black. If you do anything wrong, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
What I didn't like about her behavior, what she does, the way she does, is that she wants everybody to accept her for who she is, but she doesn't want to conform to anybody's rule. Communication is both ways. When you communicate, you say one thing, somebody say, you respect me, I respect you. You come to my house, you know that I eat pounded yam, you respect my pounded yam. I come to your California, you eat burger, I respect your burger.
That's right.
There we go.
I like
Yeah.
that. Hold on. Josephine, she said something very interesting and I picked up on it. I think when this trip was planned, Meghan was not a part of this trip because if we look back on the Invictus Games, how Harry has been going, there's been several games he's gone to and Meghan is not there.
That's right.
You know, so do you think she threw herself into this planning, into this trip, and hence there was no planning?
I think.
That's
Joe,
Well,
Joe.
throwing herself in the trip. I don't want to use that word,
Yes.
throwing herself, because that's her husband.
yes, yes.
So she has to, if her husband says, honey, come with me, she has to go.
Yes,
Do you
of course,
understand?
of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
But bearing in mind that she has already said long time ago that she's 43%.
Right.
So probably in her head and everything, she must have arranged the whole thing saying, right, I'm going with my husband now to Nigeria, the same Nigeria that I'm 43%. So let's go. Off we go.
Okay, so she put herself in the equation. Let me see.
Sorry, come again?
She put herself
Yeah.
in the equation.
Well, she followed her husband there.
Our husband,
She followed her husband to Nigeria. Yes. About the Invictus game, yes, little things were done about that. But the spotlight now
was on Meghan.
was on Meghan.
And
And what we're trying to say here is there's no wrong in the spotlights being on you, but it should have been utilized well.
That's very good point you've made.
It should have been utilized well, like what Ro has outlined, what Ms. Edogiawere has outlined. It should have been utilized well, but it wasn't.